reading Walt Disney's Storybook collection. Let's see which of the stories we're going to read. We're reading The Jungle Book. There's Walt Disney's The Jungle Book. There's Mowgli and Baloo. Do you see that? Great job. Let's learn a little bit about them. Here we go. Long ago, deep in the jungle of a faraway India, there lived a wise Black Panther named Bagheera. One day, as Bagheera sat in a tree, he saw something. What? Surprising. Why, it's a man cub, said the panther. Let's see what Bagheera sees. Bagheera was not able to care for the man cub, so he took the baby to live with a family of wolves. Now that's cool. The wolves named the little boy Mowgli and raised him as one of their own. Do you see Mowgli here? And do you see Bagheera? I almost didn't show you that. Bagheera right here. And Bagheera said that he couldn't raise Mowgli, so he took him to the basically a pack of wolves, and the wolves raised Mowgli. So let's see what happens here. Do you see there's the mama wolf, and here's the daddy wolf, and here's the baby wolves, and there is Mowgli. Tiny rainy season came and went. Mowgli grew, and no man cub was happier than he. The creatures of let's see what happens, of the jungle were good to him, but one jungle animal did not wish Mowgli well. Let's see who that it is. It was Shere Khan, the strong and cunning tiger. Shere Khan feared nothing but man's gun and man's fire. He was sure that the man cub would grow up to be a hunter. Shere Khan has returned to our part of the jungle, said Akita. The wolf said one day. Surely, do you see it? Akita's right here. And then this is the daddy wolf. There's Bagheera. And they're talking, and then this is the pack here. And they're talking about what to do with Mowgli because Shere Khan has arrived. Uh-oh. Let's see. He will try to kill the boy. Mowgli was no longer safe. It is time for Mowgli to return to his own kind. And that's the humans. Bagheera says, Bagheera said, I will take him to the man's village. Hurry, said Akita. Akita said, there is no time to lose. Do you see Mowgli there, Bagheera? And Akita says, don't worry, it's going to be okay. Here we go. Bagheera and Mowgli started on their way. We'll spend the night here, Bagheera said as they settled down in the branch of a tree. Just then, Ka, the snake appeared. He thought Mowgli would make a tasty morsel. He goes, he will be a tasty morsel for me. Like that, how the snakes do with their tongues. The snake used his hypnotic eyes to put Mowgli into a trance, which is the hypnotic thing that made Mowgli go, like that. He wrapped the man cub in his coils. Bagheera woke just in time to smack Ka on the head. Basically, he goes, stop it, Ka. And he goes, like that, and he smacks him on the head so that he would save Mowgli's life. And Mowgli went, what just happened? What just happened? What just happened? And sent him on his way. Let me make sure. Perfect. And he sent basically on his way. It was time to keep moving. Mowgli decided he didn't want to go with Bagheera. No, Mowgli, you got to. The jungle is my home, the man cub insisted. he went off on his own. Along the way, Mowgli saw a parade of elephants. He thought it was wonderful and wanted to march along with them. But when it came time for the elephants to inspect, Colonel Hattie took a close look at Mowgli. Uh-oh, there he is. There's the colonel right here. He goes, "It's time for inspection time, my fellow elephants. Let's see if you're all in line. Let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2." Then he goes over to see Mowgli. He picks him up and goes, "You're not an elephant. What's going on?" "What happened to your trunk?" asked Colonel. "Why, you're a man cub," he cried. Bagheera came to Mowgli's rescue. He insisted on taking him to the man village. But Mowgli refused once again. So let's see what happens. Once more. "Then, from now on, you'll be on your own," Bagheera told him. "Oh, that's not nice." So he said, "Then now on, you'll be on your own." But you know what? Bagheera has a heart of gold, so he'll take care of him. Don't worry. Mowgli soon met a good-natured bear named Baloo. Baloo helped Mowgli forget his troubles. They played together, swam together, and ate sweet, ripe bananas and coconuts all day long. As the two friends floated on the river, a group of monkeys swooped down on Mowgli. They picked him up and dragged him off to the ancestral city of Monkey Kingdom. The Monkey King. And do you see the Monkey King right here? There's Mowgli. The Monkey King wanted something from Mowgli. "Teach me the secret of fire," King Louie demanded. "Then I can be human like you." Bagheera and Baloo arrived in time to help Mowgli escape from the monkeys. "Now you see why we must leave the jungle," they pleaded. But Mowgli still did not believe his friends. He ran away from them again. Uh-oh, there is Shere Khan, and there's Mowgli. From them again, right into the great Shere Khan himself. No, 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 no. "I'm not afraid of you, Shere Khan," said Mowgli bravely. A storm began to blow around them. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning struck nearby. Boom! Bam! And that's what happened with the lightning. And there is the fire. There is Shere Khan. The lightning started a small fire. Mowgli grabbed a burning branch and tied it to Shere Khan's tail. Do you see that right here? Here's his tail. There's Shere Khan. The terrified tiger ran away, never to be seen again. As Mowgli proudly walked through the jungle with his friends, he heard a new, beautiful sound. It was a girl from the man village, singing a sweet song. She probably goes like this. Da 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 da. Da da dee 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 doo 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 doo. He probably heard something like that. Really happy song. Mowgli couldn't look away. He stopped walking to listen. "Go on, Mowgli," Bagheera urged. "Go on, go on, go on." Mowgli knew that he must follow the girl and her song. She smiled at Mowgli as he walked with her all the way to the village. He turned to wave goodbye to his friends. Baloo and Bagheera watched Mowgli leave. Their hearts were sad, but they knew it was as it should be. Their man cub had found his true home at last. Isn't that great? This is Mowgli. This is the girl that was singing. He followed her back to the village that's over here. And so that it was a happy ending. But we're going to read 2 more stories, okay? So let's get into it right now. This is going to be fun. Walt Disney's The Aristocrats. There's the Duchess and her kittens. So let's read about the Aristocrats. And we're going to take the words nice and slow because there's a lot of different names and stuff in here. Madame Bonfamille and her amazing Aristocrats lived in a beautiful house in Paris. Oh, that's so cool. There were Marie, Toulouse, Berzuli, and the Duchess, their mama, our mother. Kittens were very talented. Madame loved them very much. So there's the, probably that's the little gal. Then there's the artist, and there's the pianist right down here. And this is their mother, the kittens. And so let's come over here and see. Here's the butler right here. So we're going to learn a little bit. And planned to leave her entire fortune to them. Madame did not keep the fact away from her favorite, basically, her fortune to basically be secret from the butler. Her fortune was a secret, and her wishes did not make Edward, the butler, very happy. He thought he was going to be next in line. Edgar thought he was going to be next in line. Isn't that interesting? So Edgar came up with a plan of his own. He wanted to make the Aristocrats disappear. So it's right here. This is the guy here. So he could what? Let's see. He could inherit Madame's fortune. For their supper that evening, Edgar prepared a what? A special dish. Come taste this delicious crema Edward. So he has a lot of the French things. 1 second. Excuse me very much there. He called it, this was his special dish. He made this special every day for the kittens. It was their very, very special kitty food. Unfortunately, it was very delicious, and the Aristocrats and their friends Roquefort, the mouse, ate it all. So this mouse here was friends with the Duchess, with her babies right here, the kittens. And so he had some, and they had some, and it was really, really, really yummy, yummy, yummy. The mouse ate it all. They soon fell fast asleep. Following his plan, Edgar came, put them in a basket, and drove them out into the country. He soon met two noisy... What are these? Two noisy dogs who loved to chase anything on wheels. Edgar lost control of his motor vehicle and drove right into a river. No. The basket holding the Aristocrats fell off the motorcycle and under a bridge. Uh-oh. When the cats awoke, let's see what happens. And do you see here? There's Edgar on the bike, and there's the dogs that we were just talking about that love to chase anything that has wheels. Let's see right here. They did not know where they were. How would they find their way home? There's their mama and the baby kittens. Soon Thomas O'Malley, the alley cat, found the Aristocrats and offered his help. He was quite taken with the Duchess. O'Malley arranged for a ride aboard a milk truck. But the cats that have discovered and were chased off the truck. Basically, they were discovered by the milkman, and they got chased off the truck. Before we had milk in a store or a marketplace, they had delivery trucks that would drop off little glass containers that had milk, and they would use those trucks to do that, and they would go to each person's house and have like 4 in this little bitty crate thing and drop it at the door, and so they would have milk for that day. That's pretty cool, huh? A little bit of history about milk, and so now we'll continue on. Okay, yeah, off the truck, the container for their safety. So they were concerned about their safety. O'Malley decided to accomplish the basically aristocrats back to Paris. After the very long walk, O'Malley convinced Duchess to stop at his place and rest before going home to Madame. Isn't that cool? This is his place. But when they got to O'Malley's place, his jazz playing friends were, we'll see if this is jazz playing friends. One over here, one up here, one here. And there's the Duchess and O'Malley, and there's the other baby kittens. So I'm going to let you take a look to see. I'm just going to put it up just for a second so you could take a look at that. Do you see them? Isn't that cool? Yeah. So now let's come over here. His friends were singing. Isn't that cool? Dancing up a storm. That's fun too. And the Aristocrats wanted to meet them all, especially Scrat Cat. The kittens joined in the fun, but soon it was time to go home. O'Malley tried to talk Duchess into staying with him, but she was too worried about Madame. See right here, they went up to the top while the kittens were playing with their friends down below. And they did some songs and stuff. He said, why don't you just stay here? You're free, you're safe. You can be part of the jazz band and live the free life. And she's like, but I have to go back to Madame. I promised that I'd take care of her. She loves me and I love her. So she's like, I want to share the love. And you're going to see it. There's a happy ending. I love these happy endings here. O'Malley agreed to take the Aristocrats home. He no sooner saw them to their door when Roquefort came running after them. Duchess needs help, cried the little mouse. Come quickly. When Edgar saw the Aristocrats, he grabbed them and stuffed them inside a pillowcase. Then he hid them in the oven while he pulled out a huge trunk of stamped Timbuktu. O'Malley sent Roquefort to Scrap Cat and his friends to bring them to Madame's. Basically, O'Malley sent Roquefort basically to go get his buds, the jazz playing the guys and cats and the gals and all that fun stuff, to come help the Aristocrats get free before they go to Timbuktu. Then he ran back to the house to help the Duchess. He cornered Edgar in the barn, and there was a terrible fight. This O'Malley's like, you know what? I have to save the Duchess. I have to save the Duchess. I gotta save her. Edgar pinned poor O'Malley to the wall with a pitchfork. Suddenly, Scat Cat and his friends were at the barn door. They managed to overpower Edgar as Roquefort popped up the trunk to let the Aristocrats out, or popped it out. Basically, he unlocked it so that he can get the Aristocrats out of this one here. And here's the Aristocrats. Oh, I have to go back really fast just to show you the fight scene, because you didn't get to see the fight scene that they saved the Aristocrats. This is the Scrap Cat and his friends overpowered their enemy Edgar, and so that was pretty cool. They helped out the Aristocrats. Okay. The Aristocrats out of the animals made sure that Edgar took their place inside the trunk. A few minutes later, some men came to pick up the trunk, headed for Timbuktu. There was the happiest reunion with Madame. She could not believe her precious cats were home, safe and sound. And Madame had Thomas O'Malley and his friends to thank for it. Madame could see that O'Malley and Duchess were in love. She invited him to live with them. Now her family was complete. And as for O'Malley, his musician friends, Madame threw a great party and invited them all to play. Do you see here? This is Madame. This is their party. This is a lot of the friends that she knew. And so back here, just really quick, I'm going to show you. They took a family picture, and she found out that they were in love. Thomas O'Malley and the Duchess were in love. So now we get to read one more story. This is so great. Walt Disney's Mickey Mouse's Christmas Carol. Cool. There's Hoot, Tiny Tim, and there's Mickey, Minnie, and their kids. Do you see that? Isn't that great? So let's learn a little bit about this and have some fun on our last story. This is going to be fun. We're going to have so much fun here. It was Christmas Eve, but old Ebenezer Scrooge didn't care that it was the best holiday of the year. Poor Bob Cratchit, who worked for Scrooge, had to ask if he could have Christmas Day off. It took all of Cratchit's courage to face his mean boss. Christmas, shouted miserable Scrooge. Bah, humbug. But he gave his permission. Poor Cratchit hurried home to his family before Scrooge could change his mind. Just then, Scrooge's nephew, Fred, stopped by. Come join us for Christmas dinner, Uncle, he offered. The old man just scorned. Christmas? Bung hugbug. Bahugbug was his only reply. He basically scooped Freddie out the door, scooted him, basically pushed him. He says, "Be gone with you, be gone." After counting his money, Scrooge left for home. Sinking into, do you see Scrooge right here? Scrooge has all of his money, he's counting. This is his nephew, Freddie, and he pushed him out the door saying, I ain't coming to Christmas, but humbug. Into his favorite chair. Remember how Scrooge had his, basically, he had his potatoes and mashed potatoes and stuff, and he entered the door, to his door, and he saw the voices at the door going, Scrooge, Scrooge. And then he thought he heard something, and then the door turned back, and he opened it and went upstairs. Now we're going to see what happens when he's upstairs. Basically, he scooped down into his favorite chair, ate his dinner, a bit of dinner. Scrooge began to doze off. Suddenly, he sat up with a start. Click, click, clack, click. The ghost of Jack Marley, Scrooge's dead business partner, was walking towards him in chains, moaning and groaning. Scrooge! Scrooge! I was selfish, said the ghost, as I carried these chains through eternity. So will you, Scrooge. No, Scrooge cried. I must be dreaming. It can't be. Help me, Jack. Tell me, Jacob, tell me what I must do. Tonight, Marley said, 3 spirits will visit you. Listen to them and do as they say. When the ghost disappeared, Scrooge shook his head. I need sleep, he thought. Perhaps it was a bit of undigested food or indigestion. He had just fallen asleep when the alarm clock rang. There on his nightstand stood a little, and who's this? Jiminy Cricket. Do you see that? Isn't that cool? So we're going to learn a little bit about what Scrooge gets to see. A fellow. I am the ghost of Christmas past, said the ghost, held out his hand. I'll take you to a Christmas of long ago. Scrooge and the spirit flew through the air. They stopped at a house filled with music and laughter and people. There was a holiday play going on, or party going on. Why, that's me when I was younger. Scrooge sighed. there's there's Daisy and there's Scrooge. And now we're going to get to see what happened here. There's old Fuzzywig in the picture. Fuzzywig would be somewhere over here dancing and having a good time with Scrooge. He gave me my first job, and there's my lovely Isabel. The spirit reminded Scrooge that gold had taken the place of love in his heart. See, that was before he became greedy and all about money. Scrooge loved Isabel, which is right here, and we're going to get to see what happened when he loved money over his true love, Isabel, right here. Okay, taking place. Scrooge turned away. I don't want to see any more. Please, spirit, take me home. Suddenly, the alarm rang once more. I must have been dreaming again, Scrooge said, rubbing his eyes. Fee, fi, fo, fump, yelled a voice. There was there sat a giant, surrounded by a huge feast. What's all this? Scrooge demanded. It's the food of generosity, the giant explained, and that's something you know nothing about. I am the ghost of Christmas present. Come, see what's happening tonight. Scrooge followed the ghost to a tiny house. He looked through the window, cracked window. Looked through the cracked window. It was Bob Cratchit's place. Do you see the giant here of Christmas present? There's Scrooge is right there. I almost forgot Scrooge, and he's gonna go to Cratchit's place. What a poor dinner! Let me move this over here. They're having. Scrooge said sadly. Then he asked, "What's wrong with the little lad?" Tiny Tim is very ill, said the giant. He needs good food to make him strong and well. Pay his father more so he can buy his family enough to eat. The giant's voice faded. Then he was gone. Suddenly Scrooge heard another voice behind him. I am the ghost of Christmas yet to come. It says Scrooge turned to find himself in a graveyard. Let's see who's what. Whose lonely grave is this? He asked meagerly. It belonged to a very rich man, the ghost says. A man who was so selfish and unkind that he had no friends. The ghost waited for Scrooge to react, basically read this. Then Scrooge read the name on the stone. He couldn't believe his eyes. It was his own very grave, or his own grave. Oh, give me another chance, cried Scrooge. Give me another chance, please, please, please. I'll change. Scrooge cries, tell me it's not. Let's see what happens. It's not too late to change my ways. Scrooge kept pleading with the spirit until he woke up. There he was, alive and well, and right in his own bed. Scrooge leaped out of bed with joy. It wasn't too late. It wasn't too late. I haven't missed it. I didn't miss it. Christmas, after all, there was time to make up for his past mistakes. He dressed quickly and rushed outside. First he tossed. You see Scrooge here? He was over here he was pleading and pleading and pleading. Then he woke and he has a chance to redeem what he had done in the past to make a better future for himself. he passed. What did he do over here? He first tossed. Let's see what he tossed. Bags of money to the men collecting for the poor. Then what? Then he promised his nephew he would come to dinner after he made one stop. Scrooge hurried over to Bob Cratchit's house. Here he is. Do you see Scrooge there? These are the men that are collecting for the poor to help so they can have a good Christmas. And so that's really, really nice to help people and share love. So now Scrooge is going over. Let's see. He bought toys for Tiny Tim. And what else did he do? And the other children. And a wonderful Christmas dinner for everyone. Isn't that cool? Cratchit and his wife were never more surprised or pleased when they saw Scrooge's changed heart. Scrooge made a promise to his family, basically Cratchit's family, that from this day on, he would, you see the kids there and Cratchit, this is Cratchit here, and he sees a toy. First of all, remember what Scrooge does in the story? He goes, "What are you doing here?" He always tells him, "You're late. You need to get back to the thing." And Cratchit's like, "What? You said I could have the day off. I could have the day off." And now we're going to see what happens. Okay, let me start from this point here so that we don't lose our thought here. Scrooge made a promise to his family that from this day on they would, let's see what happened, because we got to keep the thought of this, never want for anything. Isn't that wonderful? What a Christmas miracle for the Cratchits and for Ebenezer Scrooge. Tiny Tim had just one thing to say. God bless us, everyone. And there's Scrooge, who made a difference. He changed his heart. There's Bob Cratchit, Tiny Tim, his brothers and sisters, and there's Minnie, the wife of Bob Cratchit. There's the turkey. Remember how they had a small turkey before, and now they have a big, big, big turkey? You do? Great job. So what have we learned from the story, my friends? The stories? We learned that it's important to share love, joy, and happiness with others, and that we can share knowledge. And it's just so great. Thank you again for coming on these 3 stories with me. And like what we say, always remember to like, favorite, subscribe, and come back to Happy Time Story Time for more videos, my friends. Be blessed. Bye-bye.